Okay, be honest. Who was the first Highlander that ruined you? Was it Jaime Fraser, a brooding kilted warrior with a sword and a grudge? Or maybe it was the first time a grumpy and possessive Scottish hero growled at his heroine, you knew you were done for. Because let's be real, Highlander romances just hit different. And today we are putting the best of the best head to head in a Highlander Hero Showdown. Are you ready? Welcome to Reading Under the Covers, a romance novel podcast where we chat, fangirl, and maybe even swoon over our latest reads. I'm Francesca from Under the Covers Book Blog, and today we are talking about the towering, kilt-wearing warriors of historical romance. That's right, it's Highlander romance time. And this is not just any Highlander romance discussion. We are going to be crowning the ultimate Highlander hero in a Highlander Hero Showdown today. So it's going to be fierce, a little bit swoony, and I fully expect that people are going to come for me with some of my choices, but that is totally okay. I also encourage you to tell me what are your choices for every single round that I do. So leave those in the comments and let me know what would have been your choices along the way. But before we get into the battle, let's talk about what makes Highlander romances so addictive and the Highlander that might have ruined me for all other book boyfriends, which actually I didn't even read. So let's start off with a confession. I actually did not read Outlander, but I did watch the show. In fact, I had zero knowledge of what I was getting into when I first encountered Jaime Fraser. Actually, let me rephrase that. Not zero knowledge, because when we started this blog, one of our co-founders and co-bloggers, Annie, is a massive Jaime Fraser fan, so I've always known that Jaime was top tier book boyfriend material. But I hadn't personally read any of the books, and that was mainly because I was intimidated by how big the books were and just how detailed they were in historical context, and I didn't really feel like I wanted to read that kind of story. But here's what happened. Outlander had aired its first season, and when season 2 was premiering in New York City, my friend got tickets to an exclusive screening with the cast. Yes, Sam Heughan was there, and I had no idea what kind of life-altering experience I was walking into. So season 2 opens with that scene, if you know, you know, but more importantly, there I was experiencing my first taste of Outlander while Sam Heughan was physically in the same room. Naturally, after that, I went home and immediately roped my husband into watching the show with me, and we've both been obsessed ever since. It's basically part of our marriage contract now. And I already know that when the show finally ends, which by the way, they already filmed the last episode, it's going to feel like losing a best friend for me. But here's the thing, Jaime Fraser didn't just turn me into an Outlander fan. It actually probably ruined me for all other book boyfriends for a while. The gruff but poetic warrior, the fierce protector with a heart of gold, the Scottish accent that could just melt steel, I was totally done for. And that's the magic of Highlander romances. There's something about that deep, growly brogue that just adds something to the experience. I don't care what you say, a Highlander term of endearment just hits different. So if you've ever fallen for a fictional Scotsman or you plan to, then welcome, you're in the right place. So now let's break down what exactly makes a Highlander romance so addictive. Highlander romances take place in historical Scotland, usually in the medieval period through the 18th century, and they feature strong, untamed warriors with sweeping love stories and plenty of clan drama. It's all about passion, danger, and love overcoming impossible odds. These books usually drop you into a world that has rugged landscapes, fierce clan rivalries, and heroes who are equal parts dangerous and devoted. So if you love protective heroes and heroines who don't back down, these romances are packed with action and perfect for you. Now, for a brief history of Highlander romances, the modern Highlander romance started to take shape in the 1980s and 1990s when historical romance was actually booming. You had authors like Johanna Lindsey, Julie Garwood, and Karen Rainey who set the stage for what would become one of the most recognizable and beloved subgenres in romance. Johanna Lindsey, for example, A Gentle Feuding in 1984 was one of the earliest Highlander romances in the modern sense, which brought us an irresistible clan rivalry and a dynamic love story. Then we have Julie Garwood's The Secret in 1992, which defined the Highlander alpha hero, gruff, stubborn, and completely gone for his woman. And then we have Karen Marie Moning's Highlander series in the late 90s and early 2000s, which actually featured time travel, magical elements, and steamy, angsty romance. From there, the subgenre only grew, with authors like Maya Banks, Monica McCarthy, Kerrigan Byrne, Tessa Dare, and more that keep the torch alive today. Now, what are the tropes that we love in Highlander romances? Because let's be real, Highlander romances deliver some of the best tropes. We have arranged marriages and marriages of convenience where there's enemies forced into an alliance and the tension is absolutely perfect. We also have kidnapping and hostage situations because they were especially popular in the 80s and 90s and the early historical romances, but sometimes they still happen and they can work. But when a Highlander accidentally abducts the heroine and oops, they're basically in love, that can sometimes work. Then we have, of course, the classic enemies to lovers, which usually is also about clan rivalries because there's nothing like a little inner clan tension to fuel the angst. We also have the very popular time travel and magic trope. A lot of Highlander romances also lean into fantasy and paranormal, which just adds to the fun, in my opinion. And then we have the protective and possessive warriors, the best kind of hero for me, the rough on the outside, soft on the inside, which are just to die for and always available in a Highlander romance. So now that we've set the stage, let's battle this out. Here's how the Highlander Hero Showdown today is going to work. I'm going to put some of the most iconic Highlander romance heroes head to head in different categories. I'm going to pick a winner for each round, and then that winner will move on to the final battle. At the end, I'll just pick who is the most epic Highlander hero from this showdown. Like I mentioned before, I would love to encourage you guys to also vote in the comments. What are your choices for each of the rounds and your final top Highlander hero? So let's get into it. For round one, we are doing the most brooding Highlander. The brooding Highlander stares off into the distance, is weighed down by his past, tortured by his emotions, and completely incapable of expressing them, and we love them for it. We're gonna kick things off with Magnus Mackay from The Saint by Monica McCarthy. Magnus is the ultimate stoic warrior, a Highland Guard elite soldier fighting for Robert the Bruce. He's called The Saint not because he's pious, but because he refuses to discuss women. And not for lack of interest, he once loved deeply, but when Helen Sutherland chose family duty over him, he closed off his heart for good. Now she's betrothed to his friend, and Magnus is being tested in ways that he never expected. This is the perfect emotionally wounded warrior with a tragic love story, and we love to see that in Highlander romances. The second contender is Liam Mackenzie from The Highlander by Kerrigan Byrne. He is known as the Demon Highlander. Liam is a warrior feared by all. He's battle-hardened and deeply haunted by his past. His brutal father twisted him into a weapon, and now he wants nothing to do with tenderness or love, until a runaway English governess invades his fortress and dares to challenge him. Liam is grumpy, damaged, and terrifyingly intense, but underneath of all of that steel, there is a man in desperate need of love. And the last contender for this round is Brock of the Macquarie clan in The Darkest Highlander by Donna Grant. Brock is not just broody, he's a literal immortal warrior carrying the weight of centuries of guilt. He's loved one woman for lifetimes, but because of dark forces and his own self-loathing, he believes that he doesn't deserve her. If you like your brooding heroes eternal, tortured, and carrying a heartbreak that transcends time, Brock is your man. So, who wins the crown for the broodiest Highlander? Now, in my opinion, that's going to be Liam Mackenzie from The Highlander by Kerrigan Byrne. I absolutely love that series, but in particular, I really enjoyed this book. And if you like a little bit of a darker take on historical, then definitely you're going to have to pick up Kerrigan Byrne, although Donna Grant was a close second. So Liam is moving on to our final, and we'll revisit that after. But now we're going to go for round two, which is the Fiercest warrior. These are the Highlanders that are not just pretty, they are absolute beasts in battle. They would burn castles, storm enemy strongholds, and fight off an entire army to protect the people they love. So, who do we have here? First, we have Logan Mackenzie from When a Scot Ties the Knot by Tessa Dare. Logan is a battle-scarred war hero and 100% done with everyone's nonsense. He's a real Scottish captain, but for years a certain English woman made up letters about him to escape society. Imagine his surprise when he discovers that she's been writing love letters to an imaginary version of him, and now he's ready to make her face the consequences. And by consequences, I mean marriage. He is savage in war, but charmingly ruthless when it comes to claiming his bride. Our second contender in this round is Ian Mackenzie from The Madness of Lord Ian Mackenzie by Jennifer Ashley. Ian is feared, misunderstood, and rumored to be mad. He's a warrior in his own way. He survived an asylum, a cruel family, and a society that doesn't know what to do with him. His mind works differently, but his devotion is unmatched. And when he sets his heart on something or someone, he will not be stopped. So if you love a brilliant, underestimated hero who is fiercely protective, then Ian is it. And the last one on this round is Dagus McKeltar from The Dark Highlander by Karen Marie Moning. Now, Dagus is a time-traveling Highlander possessed by dark forces, and he's barely keeping himself under control. He's a fierce warrior, yes, but literal darkness is also consuming him. So when a bookish heroine stumbles into his path, suddenly she is his one anchor to humanity. If you love alpha warriors with an edge of danger, then Dagus will ruin you. So, which Highlander is the ultimate warrior for this round? I'm actually going to go with Ian Mackenzie for this round because, like I mentioned before, there are so many battles that this man is fighting. Some of them within himself and a lot of them with society at large and his family. The essence of a true warrior is definitely in Ian Mackenzie. And I mean, just top-notch perfection in his book. So Ian is moving on to our final battle and will face, for now, Liam Mackenzie from The Highlander by Kerrigan Byrne. Start thinking about that and let's move on to round 3. Now for round 3, we are doing the most swoon-worthy and romantic. So these are the Highlanders that are going to sweep us off our feet. They go all in for their women, whether it's writing poetry or making grand gestures, literally going to war to win their love. So, who do we have here? I'm going to kick things off here with Jaime Fraser from Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. You already knew that he was going to make his way on this list, right? He's a Scottish soldier, protector, cinnamon roll when it comes to Claire, but he's absolutely lethal when necessary. He will cross centuries, fight wars, and carve out a home in the wilderness, all for love. Basically, he's the standard that all other Highlanders, book boyfriends, and men are judged against. Second in this round is Graham Montgomery, and I'm probably butchering some of these names, so you'll have to excuse me. Graham Montgomery is from Never Seduce a Scot by Maya Banks. He agrees to marry Evelyn to unite their feuding clans, thinking that she's incapable of love or understanding. But the moment that he sees her strength, her laughter, her fire, he falls, and he falls hard. If you love heroes who worship their heroines, this one I think will absolutely wreck you. And then the third one in this round is Callum McGregor from Laird of the Mist by Paula Quinn. Callum is a warrior haunted by revenge, known as the Devil to his enemies. And yet when he kidnaps his greatest enemy's daughter, she challenges everything that he thought he knew about himself. He's a brooding warrior who loves with his entire soul. So who makes us swoon the hardest? I think it should come as no surprise that it's going to be Jaime Fraser for me in this one, and he joins Liam Mackenzie and Ian Mackenzie for the final round. And now for round 4, we have the ultimate bad boy Highlander. Now it's time for the rebels, the rogues, and the men who make terrible decisions but are insanely attractive while doing it. First, we have Cullen, and I'm definitely not going to try to pronounce what he is layered of, but he is from The Devil of the Highlands by Lindsay Sands. They call him the Devil, and he's feared, untouchable, and completely uninterested in love until his arranged bride refuses to cower before him. Turns out, a Highlander who doesn't care about his reputation, but will protect his woman, will definitely make you swoon. The second is Munro McClory from Some Like It Scott by Suzanne Enoch. Munro is not interested in the right kind of wife. He wants someone that's wild, untamed, and completely unexpected. So his romance with an unconventional heroine who refuses to be tamed is everything if you love a rebellious hero who actually wants a partner and not a damsel. And then the last one in this round is Cortland McCarrick from If You Dare by Cresta Cressley Cole. He's a mercenary Highlander trained to kill who is completely off limits. Cortland is gruff, growly, and absolutely unwilling to fall for anyone until he does. And then it's all over for everyone else. So who is the most irresistible bad boy of this list? I'm going to give it to Cortland McCarrick from If You Dare by Cressley Cole. If you did not know, Cressley Cole wrote a trilogy of Highlander romances, which are the McCarrick brothers. And if you haven't read them yet, you definitely need to check them out. We do have a series guide on the blog for that, and I'm going to leave that linked down below so you can check it out. So now Cortland is moving on to our final round. So let's recap. In our final round, we have Liam McKenzie from The Highlander by Kerrigan Byrne, Ian McKenzie from The Madness of Lord Ian McKenzie by Jennifer Ashley, Jamie Fraser from Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, and Cortland McCarrick from If You Dare by Cressley Cole. So those are my 4 picks that are battling each other in this final round of the Highlander Hero Showdown. And drum roll please, and let's see who's going to be the ultimate Highlander hero. I probably gave it away too soon, but yes, it's going to be Jamie Fraser from Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. If I had to eliminate him as an obvious choice from this list, I would probably give this one to Ian McKenzie from The Madness of Lord Ian McKenzie by Jennifer Ashley. I think as a whole, that series as well is top tier Highlander romance royalty. So if you have not read that series, definitely check it out and you can binge right through it. So what did you think about my final winner pick? I would love to hear what were your choices along each of the rounds and who is your ultimate Highlander hero. DM me, find me on Substack or on social, leave a comment on YouTube. I would love to hear from you guys and see what are your favorites. If there's any that I did not include in this showdown, it is not because they're not amazing. There's only so much room, right? So let's share some more recommendations in the comments as well for other amazing Highlander heroes. But for today, that's all I have for this episode. If you love Highlander romances, you can also check out the blog for more recommendations. I'm going to leave a post with some Highlander romance recommendations that we did a little while ago in the description box down below. But you can always visit underthecoversbookblog.com for more book recommendations. And also don't forget that if you're tuning in on YouTube, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a video. Plus, subscribe to our free Substack so you don't miss any of the content that we post across all of our platforms. Until next time, I hope you find something amazing to read this week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!